Let's kill that bass head. Alright, let's do this.
I'm on the air, we got this pockets flow. It's me and Tony on the mics, we gotta let you know of current events, little gaming, sprinkle in some entertainment. We stay humble, but our moms still think we're famous. Turn up the bass and baby, maybe let that magic flow. Our spoken word is all the things you really wanna know. Having a good time on the show, T-Bows and Matty G. Tune in and hit subscribe and join us on the FAP.
Welcome everyone to the Freaking Awesome Podcast. I'm your host Anthony Bowes. Today's episode is brought to you by CR Sabres. If you're looking to channel your inner Jedi and or Sith, make sure you check out CR Sabres. They've got many different unique designs as well as replicas from the movies. CR Sabres, we'll make sure we post up a link as well as jump over to our website and you can see it's under our sponsors page. Of course, a very apt sponsor to have with today's guest, who I'm super excited to have back on the show. If you weren't with us, it's been a couple of years since he's been here, but his career has continued to boom and move forward, and we're very excited to have some news from him today. Ladies and gentlemen, actor Dominic Pace. How are you doing today, Dominic?
I'm doing great. Hello to all your listeners. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me, and hope everyone's staying safe.
Oh, I'm super excited to have you. It was very hard. I just came back from vacation myself, and the whole time I'm like really jazzed to see you and talk to you because it's been a while, and I'm always surprised just to see how many projects you've got going on the bill, and on top of that, you continue to support all these comic book stores across America, and of course pitching your character Gecko the Bounty Hunter from the Disney's Mandalorian. Yeah. And it's just I'm so thrilled to see the relationships you've made with a lot of these people along the way, the Mandalorian Mercs Costume Club, the 501st Legion, and just like how you have really brought this community together, touring across across the U.S.
Thank you so much. I think a lot of the fans, a lot of the charitable organizations saw a lot of themselves through Gecko. As many might know, Gecko started as absolutely nothing. I was one of 25 second-team bounty hunters, not given a name, not really given an opportunity. And basically, I just was so enthusiastic and so passionate about wanting to share my story and also share my passion for the character and also the Star Wars family, the Star Wars universe, and also the hope that the character might continue on, that people got excited with me. I thought that was such a beautiful trait. I'm originally from New York and Los Angeles, and more often than not, a lot of people are not necessarily rooting for you. They're looking at how the opportunity can benefit themselves. And through the 501st, Mercs, Rebel Legion, also a lot of small business owners, they really put themselves out there for me. And it just was so humbling. It meant so much to me just in regards to the fact that they were rooting for me as opposed to, oh, damn, I didn't get that opportunity. I would give anything. I'd give my right arm. There was a gentleman who passed away last August. I'm actually donating greatest news ever. I received my first license piece from Lucasfilm through all this hard work. But number one, they are going to be stickered and they're sponsored by Daniel Logan, will actually be donated to a gentleman by the name of Chris Scott. And the reason he touched me so much was because Fort Dodge, Iowa is a very small town in the middle of Iowa. And I had an appearance there in 2020 and 2021 on lazy Tuesdays and Wednesdays, small one-horse town. And I probably got maybe about 5 or 6, 7 people trickling in the first hour. And then it got really slow. And I was there with my son. Well, Chris Scott was a member of the 501st. And I said, Chris, what I did with all 501st and everybody in the charitable organizations, I was always give them a complimentary signed photo. And I said, Chris, if you want me to just give you a photo and if you want to be on your way, please go right ahead. And he said, no, Dom, I want to stay here by your side. And I knew how passionate he was as a fan to have always have dreamt to want to be a part of the Star Wars universe. And for him to stand there, not when it's busy, not when I have a line out the door, which I was fortunate to have that in many different places around the country, but for him to stand there for 4 more hours just with me and my son just meant so much to me. But he sort of was a cornerstone and sort of a message from all of the 501st members in terms of that type of demeanor. And it just meant so much to me because, again, this character was absolutely nothing. I was not a big celebrity, but I feel like Gecko in many ways is for the people there. And I can't tell you how grateful I am and what an amazing journey it's been the last couple of years.
Now, first of all, I think you cut yourself short when you say you're not, a big celebrity, because quite frankly, I think you are. And what you have done, not only just for the franchise and kind of behind the scenes, for your character, and again for the costuming clubs. I mean, just to see other people from the TV shows and the movies getting out, not just like in, doing a quick part on the show, and then just letting their character disappear. I mean, you have to go back and remember that Boba Fett, who of course was a massive favorite by many people, only had like 20 seconds of screen time, and it continued to build. And of course, with the Book of the Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, all these different things that have shot off from that one character. Who's to say that Gecko won't be the next Boba Fett? I mean,
I agree. I guess what's humbling about it is that I felt like Boba sort of came from the fan base organically, where this was very much self-motivated. I don't think there was one cast member who self-motivated their own character, especially being on the second team. With that being said, I would like to believe that it's a tremendous compliment to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni for allowing me to continue on with this journey over the period of 2.5 years, not being one of the stars and sort of going rogue, almost all the way to the point of even making my own fan fiction comic to show them, saying, hey, this guy looks awesome. He would be a great, side character to carry along, maybe some Easter eggs as the series, all the different series start continuing on. But really a compliment to Disney, a compliment to Lucasfilm. I'm sure a lot of your listeners know how strict they are. And to have allowed me to have done this, I think was a compliment also to me, in that I was going about it the right way in terms of being passionate about the fan base, trying to help others, and also at the same time enthusiastic as a 25-year veteran actor of wanting to get it done myself. With that, within the confines of the story itself, as far as what Gecko is, I think it's such a beautiful message for a few reasons. Number one, he is the only species of his kind. And also the fact that he was not given an official name, to me, I think says so much. It's sort of a message to my children. I was just having a conversation with a gentleman yesterday in regards to the word privilege. That word is sort of loosely used in American culture these days. And for me, I get very sensitive over it as an Italian American, because the issue is not all of us who identify as Caucasian males have this miraculous privilege, as if our last name were Rockefellers, Vanderbilts, J.P. Morgan, etc. So the concern for me was teaching my kids, look, not all of us, not only do we unify as races and not only do we unify as genders, but also at the same time, we need to put the accountability on ourselves and say, hey, look, life has been hard for a lot of us, but how do we overcome that obstacle, even by looking different, like Gecko, even by not being the popular kid in high school, as far as with maybe looking different, where you have horns, etc. Obviously not that, but you know what I mean, in terms of being maybe looking different by gender, looking different by race. So for me, I felt that this had more of a larger message. And the symbolism on this tiki mug, by the way, it's a geeky tiki mug, where they're going to have Gecko first appear on a first official licensed piece, means much more to me than just being character number 5038 in the Star Wars universe. I feel like the angle that I came from has so much more of a unique sort of Star Wars story for here on Earth and here within our country as well.
Yeah, definitely. And it really is. It's great. Not only from that point of view, but I kind of looked at, you've gone out, like you said, and you've really freely done this all in yourself. And I think it was in your kind of your official announcement about the tiki, that it's just taking the initiative, doing something you love, that passion. Don't let people stop you. Don't, like, even if you don't have 100% backing or support or whatever, if you love what you're doing, be yourself and just do it.
Right, exactly, without question. And that's the thing. Not everyone's not going to be rooting for you all the time. I mean, there were some appearances like Fort Dodge to where I didn't really have a fan base. I didn't have really a following. But at the same time, I took that Gecko flag and I stood on both feet, and I showed my sons and also showed the world who I was. And like I said, I can't tell you how grateful I am to Disney and to Lucasfilm for allowing me to send that message, and consequently ended up rewarding me with a licensed piece there. They didn't have any plans. It's a tough time to get involved in Star Wars because they're expanding so rapidly. It's not as special as when we were kids in 1985. You had the Final 17 with those unique characters, Barada, Yakface, Amanaman, to where those unique characters really stood out. So I really had my work, challenged against me in terms of the fact that I needed to work twice as fast, especially with on the heels of Book of Boba coming out, with Ahsoka coming out, and also the studio not really having any expectations, just thinking, hey, we hired you for 2 weeks and that's it. But again, it meant a lot to me and very symbolic of my career, and that it's been very much like that in terms of grinding and pushing for those little bit character roles. I've got a fun one coming up March 31st on CBS, but I've taken so much pride in it because, similar to what John Candy said in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I like me. And I hope that people who are listening like themselves, being just the way they are. We don't have to be a big A-lister, but to be proud of even those 3 lines, those 4 lines, those brief appearances. I have one friend, he doesn't speak at all on television, and he posts all these things where he's so proud to be who he is as far as to contribute to these amazing productions that he does throughout his career. So it's the same with me. So it has more of a sentimental meaning, again, and I think a meaning symbolically of all the things that I explained to be on that mug there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you definitely earned it. And then on top of that, I mean, a lot of people don't know this about you, but you're a huge Star Wars collector yourself and a fan. So, I mean, to get that opportunity to basically have a character who's now officially as a merchandise, which means you're kind of immortalized into the Disney canon kind of things, and that's going to be a big, great hurrah for you.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, without question. It really, I took a second. The other day because I was so paranoid because I ordered 600 units of this mug and I said, are they going to sell? I said, otherwise I'm going to be stuck with 600 mugs. So there was a part of me, it was the business, Dominic, where I'm like, oh God, I hope to God they sell. I already sold 170 online already. But now I can just kind of take a step back and really just relish and appreciate, that opportunity. Almost, I make it similar to sort of Rudy Rudiger, to where he wasn't the star of the Notre Dame team, but he got to get out there in the fourth quarter and at least be with the A team for 1 second, to flank Carl Weathers and to have, Brendan Wayne and Pedro Pascal's character, and to have Baby Grogu right there and IG 11 on the mug with me. Just really is just such an honor that I got to dress, as they say in football, at least one time on an official piece. Now, going a little further, not to get greedy, I mean, they are coming out with the Navarro Cantina playset. Do I think it would be absolutely amazing to have that one awesome, unique Cantina character for episode 1 and 3 of season 1 of The Mandalorian? Absolutely. I think Hasbro, hopefully if they're listening, and even Funko Pop would definitely should jump on it. It's just a sequel trilogy, unfortunately, I think shifted a lot of things. I think they tanked in terms of the secondary characters for that series. So I think they scaled back, and obviously, as you saw with Mandalorian, they just limited it to all the mainstream characters. But hopefully, there's been guys that have made 90 figure card backs for season 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian. So hopefully that'll pique their interest. Even at a limited release, I would love nothing more. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. I remember the original Star Wars and a lot of even just like the O-Pee-Chee cards that came out with the characters on them. And I know we live in a different time, and it's not to make myself seem older and my gray shows through, but to me, that was fantastic to find like that one character or the card that you've been really looking for. And, and as a huge Star Wars fan myself, I mean, it would be a living dream to even be killed in 20 seconds of a film, or even 1 second, to be like, that's me dying right there.
And it's been a great message, and I've heard it now, even with Book of Boba, is they have been using 501st members, and that means so much to me, even if Gecko doesn't continue, because the 501st does so much for community, as opposed to having just a second team actor, to where more than 50% of the time, a lot of times they're not diehard fans like some of the charitable organization members are. But I just think it's so beautiful they continue to do that. They continue to use the droids that the 501st have created. Because again, just like what you're expressing, I mean, it just means so much to so many people, where this franchise has touched their lives in a million different ways.
Yeah, for sure. Now, a lot of the listeners who of course, may be tuning in and aren't aware of the Mandalorian Mercs and the 501st, of course, it's a costuming club. They're very dedicated to the Star Wars series and universe, and they're very good at making screen-accurate outfits. They go out on a lot of charitable events. They go to a lot of the Comic-Cons. So when you're out there and you get to see them, stop and let them know like how much you really appreciate what they do, because they do a fantastic, and it's all out of their own pocket. And they are really, really amazing people. So
absolutely, they certainly are.
To have them on the show a couple times, and one from each, and it's just been amazing. We got a message in here from one of our listeners just saying, "Keep up the great work. We love you, Dominic."
Oh,
And
thank you. That's so kind of them. Everybody's just been amazing. It really was amazing throughout the entire country, but also expanding out throughout the country. I had fans in England and Spain and Germany and South America. Again, it just meant so much to me. I can't tell you how. It's sort of in a negative way. Growing up in New York and Los Angeles, it's grit and grind, and it teaches you great survival skills. On the East Coast, you have this tough love, and you have to have tough skin. Not everyone's always in the greatest mood. In Los Angeles, you have a lot of narcissism. Well, you don't have to go any farther than looking at TikTok to see that type of mentality in terms of, hey, look at me, I want to get followers. It's all about me, me, me. Hey, I don't care about the Jake Paul mentality of like, you're so freaking annoying. And it just meant so much to me. Again, I just am still overwhelmed and so humbled by all of their support. They would kit up for me, even in 95-degree weather, just to come out and support. And it just meant so much. And not only they contributed as well financially, which just really meant the world, because I took quite a risk going around the country 3 times. And it just meant so much that they came out to support in so many different ways.
Yeah. It's really funny that you bring up the social media of things and TikTok, the Instagrams, everything out there. I even find myself when I'm on Facebook, every day I'm like, see less, because it's ridiculous things that are out there that people, and it's always funny because it's the same thing. If it's like a 15 to 18 minute video, it's going to waste your time.
I think it's a really simple formula. And again, maybe people are just bored because it's the same thing in and out in terms of their day. But really, the irony to what you're saying is I think the general consensus of the public is actually to genuinely appreciate if you have something new. Like now I've been getting into cooking the last few days. Hey, you know what? I made this new cake. Hey, you know what? I just achieved this. I got this level on, at my Spartan race, etc. But things that have been productive to the society. I'm down at the LA Food Kitchen. How about that? Instead of the TikTok dance, I'm down at the food kitchen helping people out. So it would just be so nice if maybe, who knows, maybe we need an award for people to get back to reality of where, sometimes the significant things is through art and also at the same time maybe helping others. But yeah, I agree with you. It's almost cringeworthy sometimes to watch some of this stuff. Selfie after selfie. It's so funny. We had and I hate to be materialistic, but I mean, they were, it was a Ford model couple that lived next to my wife and I when we were younger. And over time, as beautiful as they were, they got uglier and uglier. And sometimes somebody who might be 55 and, maybe not, a little bushy around the sides or what have you, a man or woman that becomes the most beautiful person on earth because of what's right here. And it really is true. Right. Beauty is really, it's over a certain amount of time, it could be great for a one-night stand, but after that, it's a substance right here,
It's true. And it's often, I've come across that a lot in my life where, you just might find someone who looks fantastic, it might be very popular, but in the end, if they are just rotten inside, like it means nothing. I mean, it actually makes me look at that person and be like, you just get uglier and uglier and uglier because you're just not nice.
Right. Exactly. And they can't see it. It's just, it's like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. It's all about the material and I mean, it's just, anyhow, we can go on and on about a relationship show.
It's true. Yeah. So you've, like I said, you've been on a lot of new projects. I mean, I saw not too long ago, of course, you did a character for Fairly Odd Parents. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, it's fun. They got me back a second time. I guest starred on a show called Danger Force, which was a spinoff of Henry Danger on Nickelodeon. And I rarely get these character roles because I got to tell you, a compliment to these actors because it is a very stylized kind of performance in terms of you've got to be rapid fire, you've got to be animated, and it's a certain delivery that is not natural in terms of what you learn in acting class. So I always had a very difficult time, but that kind of broke through. But it's a nice little featured bit where there's going to be, I don't want to give too much of the story away. I don't want to get in trouble, but there's going to be a dance-off. And it's just fun. My boss is having a dance-off, etc. And anyhow, long story short, it's just the kids are so brilliant. And then also a lot of the lead characters there and such. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm happy to always go back. Unfortunately, my kids are now getting older past the point of that age to where they really, truly enjoy it. But we also got a really fun appearance, this bowling character, Suede Wade, on the premiere episode of a show called How We Roll, starring Chi McBride, a few other legendary actors, and that's going to be on CBS. But it's another fun cameo. I'm really excited to show everybody on March 31st on CBS there. a lot of great things happening. We do want to do this victory tour as long as the waters are calm internationally, of just having a drink with everyone. I'm going everywhere from Texas. I've got Dallas, Houston, Oklahoma City, Reno, Vegas. I've got Phoenix. I've got Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Chicago, and Grand Rapids, Michigan, simply to say thank you. I ordered in excess of these mugs. I'm going to maybe sell off a few at a discounted price just to say thank you to everyone. But genuinely just to have a drink, no matter what ends up happening with Gecko, just to thank the Star Wars universe and the Star Wars community, as much as there's such a divide and things that, you know, you hear all these words of toxicity and et cetera. Everyone has just been so supportive of my journey that I literally just wanted to go out, even if it's out of my pocket, just to have a drink and say thank you to everybody just for all the support they've given me. And I feel like there's a bit of closeness through what we've been through together with this pandemic.
Yeah, just amazing. And I say this to a lot of people, and I'm actually always really, really surprised because I even see it on social media, other people's social medias, that you maybe even be loosely tied, like someone I didn't even know, but they come up in my feed or something because they're a friend of a friend of a friend, and how they talk about you, or someone who's come across you, or even just the fact that, you know, around the Christmas season, you were giving out free cameos to say Merry Christmas to people. And like, I'm always just astonished how much you continue to give back to people. And it really is, you know, a credit to your character and who you are.
I appreciate that. Again, I think that Gecko, like I said before, is almost a yin and a yang with the Star Wars community, and that he would never exist without the support of the fan base. Any other show, again, being in this business for 25 plus years, if you're a secondary character, if you're on screen for 5 seconds, I mean, it amounts to a hill of beans. And the fact that everyone has been there for me, I can't do enough. So I'm extremely grateful, and will forever be there for everyone, as long as hopefully he continues to stay relevant. I hope to be more of an inspiration if the character grows within the series, and hopefully we will. Hopefully this was a sign from Lucasfilm saying, hey, let's get you on the first product, and then let's see what happens.
That's right. That's right. I mean, you know, they always continue. I mean, because Disney has acquired, you know, that whole end of Star Wars, and it wasn't even really that long ago when you think about it. You know, they're only really getting the ball rolling, and the fact that they're putting out a lot of these new live action series, but even just the animated end of the series, right? I mean, who knows what they might come up with after the Bad Batch? Maybe they'll come up with a Bounty Hunter Tales. Maybe they'll come up with
that, or I would love to even get into the video game sector. I know how much I used to enjoy going back to the days of Street Fighter, where you get to pick your different attributes of each bounty hunter. You know, Bosk might have a certain style of his leap. Boba is all well-rounded, almost like a wide receiver. And then you've got Gecko, to where he's more like Kane Hodder from Jason Friday the 13th, where he's big, burly, but his blaster, even though it takes the time to rev up, it can have twice as much power. So things like that, I would love, you know, with Gecko's gauntlets as well, where they're bigger, just so you know, they're bigger than Boba's. So, you know, what he lacks in speed and agility, those things I think can do a lot more than the Whistling Willies there. So let's hope so. I think, honestly, you know, between video games, animation, and also sort of embedding this character in the fan base and them allowing me to do it, who knows? We were hopeful with Marvel there. They were really gunning for him. But apparently, you know, Lucasfilm, the reason they said it can do it is because they have a plan for all Star Wars Mandalorian characters. So hopefully he'll end up in some other stuff. I think he looks pretty darn cool. I get a lot of comparisons to He-Man had this side character, Stinkor. You know, and sometimes they say it's kind of like cow udders, whatever. But I just think, you know, look, the weirder, the uglier, the odd, the more odd, the better. And again, hopefully that's a parallel to so many kids, to where they might be different and they can see their own pride within who they are.
Yeah. I mean, look at the again, you know, and again, I could talk about Star Wars until the cows come home, but you know, there's just been so many other characters that have reached a lot of fame. Even Greedo, who again was in very short amount of time, he gets killed. He's not even in extra episodes. He gets killed in that one episode, and yet everybody's just still to this day, who shot first, right? I mean, there's the joke, and
the Rodian. I mean, the Rodians have become a major species within the genre. You know, it's really interesting. Just for those who love little Easter eggs. There was a very famous movie back in the 1950s that inspired Lucas, called The Day the Earth Stood Still. So I didn't realize until about a year ago that the code name in that to contact the aliens, or you know, the foreign planet, was Barada, Klaatu, Nikto. That was it. So it was those three. But anyhow, within Book of Boba, those are the three main featured, and they were very obscure too in Return of the Jedi. three main species that you see in Book of Boba. So yeah, you never know. I just hope that it's shorter than 40 years span time to where we get to see Gecko in action before I'm gone off the earth here.
Right, that's right. Actually, it's really funny that you say that, because I mean, I'm like, wait a minute, I've heard that as well. And of course from Army of Darkness with Bruce Campbell also says those same three words when
Oh,
somebody's
you're kidding me. Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow,
So,
very interesting. Yeah.
super funny. So, all right. So, of course, I want to keep bringing up a couple of the other roles that you've been in.
Sure.
But you did Chen Kang, which is another recent one.
Absolutely, yeah. That's coming out to Disney Plus. I thought that was a gesture. I don't know, because I'm not in one of those major agencies where they package the actors to a studio contract. But I thought that was another gesture from Disney saying, hey, you know what? He's been great with our fans. Let's give him a shot. I play Principal Coach Benavidi. It's about an Asian kid from high school who's marginalized because, again, I don't mean to be politically incorrect, but a lot of times when you think Asian, you don't think basketball. And Jeremy Lin obviously paved the way, and hopefully a million more Asian people of Asian descent. So it does focus on that. It's a great buddy film, but also at the same time, just really good natured. And I was so honored to fly back to New York to go film that. We've got one called Bonded with Jason Patrick. That's going to be coming out hopefully later this year. It's a very, very dark story about immigration and struggling through a sweatshop, an immigrant from Mexico, and the trial and tribulations they have to go through. I play a pretty evil cop, unfortunately.
Well, sometimes you got to be the bad guy.
Hey, you got to be all the time. And starring in a film called Deceived, and that will be in June. I'm filming in Fort Lauderdale with a beautiful, beautiful actress, Ann Joseph. It was her birthday yesterday, so very excited about that. And again, just want to finish off this on a high note with the end of July should be nearing towards saying goodbye to the Star Wars fan base, but hopefully saying hello in a million different ways after this. But just wanted to put a perfect bookend on it for all the support everyone gave me before this series starts expanding. And who knows whether we are a part of it or not, but fingers crossed.
Well, and hopefully, like you said, there will be a return of the character at some point, which would be absolutely amazing. And again, just having the merchandise out there is amazing. Of course, a little treat in there for people who didn't maybe put one and one together. But you'd mentioned Daniel Logan, of course, who played young Boba Fett.
Yes,
and of course he runs the bounty boxes. And
such a compliment to him. So when the product arrives, it's going to be in about a month. It is a mural mug of season 1 of The Mandalorian. Gecko is flanking Grief. It's a 24-ounce mug. Beautiful, beautiful substance to this. I mean, just texture. You can hold cold drinks, hot drinks. It's about 9 inches tall, huge, gorgeous. But anyhow, Daniel, what a compliment, because in my 25 years, I can probably count on one hand how many celebrities have looked behind them. Again, we talk about narcissism, and unfortunately it's true. But how many, and this is so inspirational for anyone listening, to be successful, but to look behind you and to try to help someone else. A lot of men and women, I feel equally, do not do that as much as they should. A lot of times we are insecure. Actors are insecure beyond belief to where we don't want to see anyone else succeed. It's that beautiful line from Daniel Day-Lewis, and There Will Be Blood. I have a competition in me. I don't want to see anyone else win. It's a horrible, horrible human trait. Daniel Logan, out of the blue, he did something that was so genuine one day. I invited him to a red carpet party in Hollywood, and he called me about an hour later. I thought it was just going to be a Hollywood thing where he says, hey, thanks, I just want to get my gift basket and go. He calls me an hour later, and I just was thrown off because I just thought it was just going to be just sort of a PR thing together. And he was just such a genuine human being. And when I was pushing the envelope with this fan fiction comic, he had me on his live show. I sold, oh my God, probably about 150 different comics. And he's going to help me motivate this Tiki there with the Bounty Boxes group. And the Bounty Boxes a fan group there, and their collectors group have been so incredibly supportive as well.
That's absolutely amazing. Let's have a little bit of fun here. I got a couple questions I want to ask you.
Sure, yeah.
And of course, we always do our 20 slower than average rapid fire questions. But amongst those, I actually want to switch up a few things and just test a little bit of your Star Wars knowledge while we do this. And
sure.
I feel like this is going to go really well because I know you're a super fan. So
yes, sure, yeah, okay, let's see.
Okay, let's start off with a relatively easy one. And how fast was the Kessel Run?
12 parsecs.
Oh my God! See, that was way too easy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's grab one from the regular list and ask you if you could have a superpower, which one would you want?
I mean, it would be just be the force pull and push would be amazing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like telekinesis, right? I mean, it's
Yeah,
absolutely
telekinesis. Yeah.
fantastic. Just to be able to goof the people around sometimes,
Oh.
and or you know, how many times like I feel really bad because I know I would use it just to be lazy, be like
Yeah.
I don't actually want to get up and get the
The
remote,
remote.
and be like,
We've
come
all
on
thought
over here.
about the remote. Yes.
Exactly. You know, how many times my wife will be like, hey, can you turn down the TV? And it's like up on the mantle, and I'm like,
Yeah.
So yeah, that would definitely be a really cool one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's ask you another one here. And do you know what the standard trooper blaster number is?
TK421.
Nope. That might be the
1138.
no, it starts with an E.
Oh boy. No, I don't.
No, the E-11, which would be
Okay.
the standard weapon for the stormtrooper. Okay.
Okay.
Let's ask you another regular question here off our list. And okay, we have to ask you this one. Do you believe in aliens?
Yes.
Okay, you had to think about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, because it's I didn't know if it was parallel to religion, etc. I mean, you just don't know. But I think, I mean, with light years away, absolutely, yes.
Okay, right on. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be right here, like walking among us. That's for 100% sure. I mean, if they are, I definitely haven't seen one, other than some people have claimed they have. So,
Right.
yeah. Okay. Let's ask you another quick one. And what is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh boy, my parents, they typical Italians, they're both hard-headed, so they didn't last too long together. So they tried to go to Hawaii to save the marriage, and I'll never forget the smell of the beautiful leis, the aroma of the leis of Hawaii and Waikiki, and being put to bed a little bit early on a oh god, it was one of those blow-up mattresses. I think there was a party going on in the apartment, but that was about it. And then also boarding a plane either to or from Hawaii. That was probably about as early as I have there.
Okay, all right. Another Star Wars question. C-3PO is fluent in how many languages?
Oh God. Is it 5 million?
Oh, no, 60 million.
60 million.
That's right. It's really funny because he often, whenever he introduces himself to somebody, he's always says that, like he's like, "How dare you? I'm the one who's,
Sure,
fluent
yeah.
in languages." Yes. All right. Let's ask you another. Okay. This one actually will be interesting if you know that, because this was a thrill for me. So, what is the name of Yoda's home?
Dagobah?
It is.
Yeah.
I thought that was almost too obvious. I'm thinking, I just assumed he just retired there. I didn't realize that he actually
No.
came from Dagobah.
I'm Italian. They have a dirty joke with that with Family Guy there, but I love it. I think it's hilarious. They say, hey, we're going to a Dago bar, whatever. So, but anyway,
Okay.
it's a joke.
Yeah. Right on. Okay, here we are. What is the Toydarian's name who owned Anakin Skywalker?
Watteau.
That's right. You got it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What species stole the plans to the Death Star?
Oh boy. Banthan.
Really, really close. Bothans.
Bothans.
Bothans. Wow. You know what? I'm almost give it to you on that one.
No, Fat Sajak's not gonna accept it.
Okay. You got to know this one. What is the name of Boba Fett's ship?
Slave One. It'll always be Slave One. Stop with the cancel culture. You got it. Slave One.
Did you know there was actually a Slave 2?
No.
Yes.
No, I didn't.
It was a smaller ship that he had.
Wow. I haven't finished watching. I watched all Clone Wars, but I haven't finished watching Rebels. And I kind of skimmed through Clone Wars, but I do need to finish up Rebels.
Yeah, for sure. It's great. It's a great series. You should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll be amazed if you know this one. And it was what was rule number 2?
Just rule number 2.
Just rule number 2.
Oh my God. I don't know. Don't talk about Fight Club. I've never heard it before.
There can only be 2 Sith Lords at one time.
Oh, yeah.
Rule of 2. Yeah. You know what? I actually said that wrong. I said rule number 2 is rule of 2. The rule of 2.
Oh, yeah. That would help. Okay.
That was on me. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name of the original Death Star's commander?
Oh my God, I would.
Yeah, they're the tough ones.
Oh, the original from Rogue One. There.
You're gonna hate yourself because this is like a really popular name. People.
Oh my God, he was a brilliant actor. He did such a good job.
Yep.
Shoot, I forget his name, but that's been my favorite spinoff there so far with Rogue One.
Yep. Grand Moff Tarkin.
Oh, Moff Tarkin.
Moff Tarkin.
Oh, I'm thinking of the guy from Rogue One. Who was that?
Well, he was. I think he was in Rogue One at one point, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. But I mean, in all the white. I thought he was the one who headed it up first. What was it?
Nope, he wasn't. He wasn't officially for the Death Star. So.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that's where I was going with it. Okay.
Yeah. No,
I gotta remember his name.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'll give this. This one's a little bit of a gimme in my world, but we'll see. Who's Luke and Leia's mother?
It's Padme.
That's right, Padme Amidala. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes. Who was Chancellor Palpatine's Sith alter ego?
Darth Sidious.
Yes. Okay. Who was Count Dooku's Padawan before he left the Jedi?
Qui-Gon.
You got it. Wow. So you're good at this. You are good at this. Okay. So I got one more question for you, and then we're gonna go on to the next quick little thing here. And do you know the name of Princess Leia's bounty hunter character?
Boosh.
You do know it, Boosh. Oh my God. So many people are just like, well, who's Boosh? Well, that's really cool. So the next little thing I want to talk to you quickly about here is CR Sabres. So there's a nice little product here that's going to be coming out for CR Sabres. And I know you were a collector yourself, as we had mentioned. I can almost guarantee you don't have one of these. And it is a thermal detonator.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Carried by Boosh, of course.
Yes.
Which is, of course, full. I'll let you see that it's got its regular light action as well as the sound from the movie. Of course, these are going to be released soon. This is just the prototype of it.
Oh, wow.
And it's actually the finished prototype, but it's kind of got that battered metal look to it. Of course, the actual film sounds and everything. And I just wanted to let you know, I'm going to get you one of these.
Oh, so kind.
And get it to you for your collection. And it actually comes with a kind of a funky little stand to display it. So you will be one of the first people to have one of these. It is going to be a Canadian exclusive at launch by CR Sabres and as well as Spade Sabres. So they will be carrying them around, and I will make sure that, of course, you get one of these for your collection.
Thank you so much.
Just for knowing, of course, Leia's bounty hunter name, because a lot of people have absolutely no clue that it even had a name.
No, sure. I mean, I've always been a fan, but I also did an extensive amount of research in terms of aggressively pitching Gecko. I mean, thanks to a lot of you to where, I was able to go on a number of podcasts to be able to pitch. So, I mean, any business, you want to be familiar with your product, So you definitely did the best research I could there with, as much of the universe. It's expanding rapidly as we speak.
Yes, for 100%, for sure. Mike, one of our listeners had just asked, is this something I made? I actually did create this. I had, as of course, a big fan. This is actually one of my favorite Star Wars weapons, and I started catting a file, and with a lot of, I think it's taken 2 years to create this, and it's got a good weight to it. It's nice and hand sized, so I'm really proud of myself to get these things out here. It'll be super fun. I'll get that out to you happily. So we'll make sure you drop me your address a little bit later after the show, and I'll make sure that once the production runs are all out, you get one. So
thank you so much. So kind of you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So it's been wonderful having you again on the show. I'm super happy that your product is launched. How far you've come. Again, Dominic, you are just a wonderful person all around, fantastic actor, just a beautiful human being, as they say, because inside and out, you're very supportive of everybody. And here on the show, we've just been super proud to have known you, to have you on the show. We hope you'll continue to come back and let us know the other things that you're working on, because you're a very unique character yourself. You're a big man, and that's not something a lot of people as actors can pull off, because you're generally like the brutes or the big bad guys or something, and it's really cool to see you flexing your acting muscles and being so many different characters now. So
thank you so much. No, I appreciate it. We're looking forward to a really fun tour. Appreciate everyone stopping by. It's the Facebook page, either Lair of the Gecko, Dominic Pace 1 on Instagram, Gecko the Hunter on Twitter, or just add me, Dominic Pace, as a friend. If you're a Star Wars, part of the Star Wars fan base, I don't have one of those 5,000 friend lists. So I just appreciate people just being fans and supporting your endeavors as well.
Well, you will soon, I have no doubt, and you'll have to be starting a second Facebook account at one point, which I'm sure will be annoying to have to juggle. But that's fandom for you, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Again, as we talked about, I'd love to see you up here at one of the Comic-Cons. We'll try to maybe reach out to some people and see if we can make that happen, because again, you've gotten a lot of support from 501st. They're all over the place. They're at these cons, and I think even up here in Canada, we would love to see you in person and to continue to share the love of Gecko.
Thank you so much. It means the world to me. And again, I hope everyone stays safe through all this craziness going on, and hopefully see you guys soon. And thanks for doing that, reaching out there, putting some feelers. It would be great to visit Canada and do a con there.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent. Well, again, thank you very much. I know that you've, of course, continued to put a little bit of time aside for us. I really do appreciate it. And again, I can't wait to see what else that you come out with in your future movies and endeavors.
Perfect. Thank you so much, my friend. All the best, and may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Awesome.